Yeah, I know, but better late than never, right? X-Men Apocalypse, directed by Bryan Singer and stars returning cast from X-Men First Class and some new faces playing younger versions of characters that are from previous X-Men films. Like in previous movies, the X-Men was band together to take on a grave threat, and this time that threat is in the form of the world's first mutant, Apocalypse. And this franchise has had its highs and its epic lows, but how does this new film stack up against the previous films? I mean, it's not the worst X-Men film. It's definitely better than X3 and X-Men Origins Wolverine, but I think that this movie is the weakest of the Bryan Singer X-Men movies. And I think what this movie is lacking the most that other Bryan Singer X-Men films have had is it's lacking a true main character. I mean, in the past films, we've had all these superheroes, all these X-Men, but we're really just following Wolverine around through the movies, and I think that's what this movie was missing the most, because it jumps around from different story points and different characters, and because of that, the movie felt like unfocused and just like a big jambalaya of story points and setup. And one big example is this one scene, and this is gonna be a spoiler. It's been a week, so I don't think any of you would care, but I'm still gonna put the spoiler warning up here just in case. So if you haven't seen the movie, just mute the video or fast forward so you don't see this logo. But at this point in the movie, the X-Mansion blows up and Colonel Stryker shows up and takes our main characters to his base, and they run into the Wolverine, where he escapes and he goes through the entire compound and just wipes out people. And was this scene really cool to see? Yeah, it was, but it was kind of unnecessary in point. If you would have taken this scene out and just replaced it with another scene and not have the Blackbird and all their suits get burned up while the mansion explodes, you would have gotten to the same point had you not had this scene in there. And I think the only reason that this scene was put in there was so we can have Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the movie and set up his new film in this new timeline that they've constructed because of X-Men Days of Future Past. And I would be lying to myself if I didn't say the scene was cool or not, but it felt like it just distracted you from the overall threat that was Apocalypse. Speaking of Apocalypse, let's talk about Oscar Isaac. And I really like Oscar Isaac as an actor, not just because he's Poe Dameron in The Force Awakens, but everything that I've seen him in, he's really impressed me. But in this movie, it kind of felt a little underwhelming, and I felt like he was doing what he could with the character, because it felt like times like the writers were nerfing his character and his powers, because he would do one thing before in the movie, but then he could have easily done it later on in the film. It's like, what is this inconsistency with his powers? He has all these abilities that he's acquired over the years as Apocalypse, and like I didn't feel he was that threatening, and that could have been because of the lack of focus in this movie, because of all the jumping around of story points. I feel like if they would have just focused more in on and given Oscar Isaac a little bit more screen time, he would have felt more threatening to me. And just I don't know. Those are my thoughts on the character of Apocalypse. But one character that I do want to talk about that pretty much brought all the feels to the movie was Magneto. Once again, Michael Fassbender as Eric Lencher was phenomenal in this film. He always brings it to this character. Every movie that he's been in, I think he's spot on. He understands, he gets this character and what needs to be. And of course, I can't not talk about Quicksilver in this film. Days of Future Past, he had such an amazing scene. People wanted to see more of that, and they go above and beyond in this film. They're able to bring him into the whole ensemble of the X-Men and give him a little bit more attachment to certain characters and storylines, and I thought they did that pretty well. I do have a little problems with the character. I do think he's a little bit too OP, and that little gripe that I have does get addressed in the film. And if I were to sum this movie up in one word, it would be fine. I mean, the movie's, it's just fine. It's not great, it's not horrible, it's just fine. It doesn't have its problems, sure, but I still enjoyed myself watching this movie. It's a lot of fun to see all these characters and come to life on screen, and the set pieces and the action pieces are a lot of fun. There's quite a bit of jokes that go around, that some hit, some don't. And so for those reasons, I will give X-Men Apocalypse a good game. So X-Men Apocalypse, it's been a week since this movie's been out, so you've probably seen it by now. So whatever you thought of it, leave a comment below, tell me your thoughts, and also where do you think this movie stacks up in the X-Men universe, Deadpool included. And please, if you enjoyed watching this review, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, you can click right here and see more videos. Bye, Andrew.